Well, back from Regency Furniture Stadium, the home of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, who just wrapped up a doubleheader in Charleston, West Virginia. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and Charleston Dirty Birds split the doubleheader. Dirty Birds won game one, 6-3. The Blue Crabs winners in game two, 2-0. Nick Wells got the spot start for the Blue Crabs in game one of yesterday's doubleheader as Mitch Lamson had a bit of an issue with his neck. There was some neck tightness. He says he's feeling better. Hopefully he'll be ready to go for his next time around. Blue Crabs got the first run in that ball game, but quickly the Dirty Birds responded with 3 in the first and 3 more in the third. They took a 6-1 lead against Nick Wells. From there it was Dalton Geeky who entered the ball game. He threw 3 1/3 innings, allowed just 2 hits, no runs, and no walks. The Blue Crabs got 2 runs back in the 6th, but it was Tyler Wilson who finished the game back in game one for the Dirty Birds to give them a 6-3 win. The Blue Crabs responded in game 2, though. Game was scoreless until the 6th. The Blue Crabs scored 2 runs in the 6th. Andres Briseño got the save after Eddie Butler went 6 1/3 scoreless innings. Tonight, the Blue Crabs send Mackenzie Mills to the mound. Making his 12th start of the season, he is 8-1 with a 3.12 ERA. Well, let's run through the starting lineup for the York Revolution as Jeffrey Perez steps in from the right side. First pitch coming from Mackenzie Mills. Fastball just off the outside edge in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out in the top of the first inning. 1-0 pitch. That's low and in. Count 2 balls and no strikes. With a 3-1-2. 2-1 pitch, called strike, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Perez. I said we'd run you through the lineup. Let's do that right now. Perez bats first. Elmer Reyes is at shortstop. He bats second. The 3-hitter is Melky Mesa. He's the DH today. The cleanup hitter is Nelly Rodriguez. 2-2 pitch. A little bit inside, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez at first base. That's Nelly. Carlos Franco is the third baseman. And that is a little bit inside. It is ball 4. That brings up Elmer Reyes as, again, we'll finish out the lineup. Perez bats first, Reyes second, Mesa third. Rodriguez is the cleanup hitter. Carlos Franco, who's in the home run race for the most homers in the Atlantic League, he bats 5th. Connor Lean is the 6th hitter. Troy Stokes Jr. bats 7th. Jack Kennelly hits 8th. And John Nunez is batting 9th. Take you around the order as Perez leads off of first base. First pitch is away for ball 1. I'll bring you around the diamond, I should say, for the Blue Crabs defensively. It's Jared Walker in left, Jack Sundberg in center. Braxton Lee is in right field from third to first across the diamond. Crosby at third, Baca at short, Wolanski at second. The pitch, that is away, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Joe DeLuca's at first base, and Ryan Haug is doing the catching. Mackenzie Mills on the mound. He walked 6 batters his last time out. Went 6 innings. Did not allow a run, allowed just 3 hits, but 6 walks as the 2-0 pitch is a called strike, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Top of the first inning, a scoreless ball game between the Revs and the Blue Crabs. Revs come into this one 0-2 in the second half, 31-37 overall. Thompson fires over to first, but skittering back to the bag, it's Jeffrey Perez. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs in a scoreless ball game in the top of the first inning. Mills. Pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. Center field rather deep. Sends Sundberg back in front of the warning track, in front of that Bud Light sign where he makes the catch for the first out in straightaway center field. Strong throw from Sundberg all the way into the infield, and it holds Perez at first base. So after the leadoff walk, Elmer Reyes goes down via a long flyout, and there's one away in the first inning. Melky Mesa, the designated hitter, takes a practice swing, and he'll step in from the right side. Melky Mesa hitting .253 on the season. This is his 16th year of professional baseball as Mills tosses over to check on Jeffrey Perez. 4th year with the York Revolution. 4th overall in team history in home runs, 7th in batting average, tied for 6th in triples. He has about as many York records as you can ask for as the pitch is a little bit up and away. The count 1 ball and no strikes, or if not York records, top 10 in those categories. And he's made himself a mainstay in that 3 spot in the Revs lineup. Mills the pitch, swinging a high pop-up. Shallow outfield grass. Michael Wolanski, the second baseman, drifts back a couple of steps, calls everyone off, and makes the catch for the second out. So after the leadoff walk from Mackenzie Mills, it's a fly out to center and a pop-up to second. And there are 2 away in the top of the first. Nelly Rodriguez, the batter. Rodriguez hitting just .220 on the year. He has 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Last series, he was 0 for 9. Career .232 hitter. Pitch called strike. Nelly Rodriguez waves the bat behind his helmet. First pitch was a called strike. And tossing over yet again, it's Mackenzie Mills. Give you the numbers on Mackenzie Mills all the way through. 8-1 overall, a 3.12 ERA, but the numbers in June really stand out. 0-1 pitch, called strike on a looping breaking ball, count 0-2. 1.53 ERA across June. 4-0 record in 35 1/3 innings. The whip in the month of June, 0.93. It's been that good for Mackenzie Mills. We turn the calendar into July. We'll have to see if we see more of the same or not. The 0-2 pitch, a little bit away, count 1-2 on Nelly Rodriguez, the righty. Jeffrey Perez from first base with 2 outs in the top of the first. We'll run you through the Blue Crabs batting order and the defensive alignment for the Revs in the bottom of the first inning. 1-2, swing and a miss. It gets away from the catcher. That's Ryan Haug and allows both base runners to advance. It's a strikeout, swinging on a drop third strike. And there are now runners on first and second as Ryan Haug got partially in front of it. But it took an awkward hop off of some equipment back behind home plate. And Jeffrey Perez to second and Nelly Rodriguez to first. So it's the first strikeout for Mackenzie Mills, but it's not an actual out. It's part of the issue there. Carlos Franco steps in. Not exactly the batter you'd like to have at the plate after you have 2 batters on and nobody out, and 2 outs, I should say. First pitch is away for ball 1. I'd rather not give him extra life with runners on base. Carlos Franco has the most RBIs in the league at 74. Tied for second in home runs at 23, behind only Courtney Hawkins, who has 25. If you look up and down the league leaders list in the Atlantic League, Franco is everywhere. 1-0 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. Right field rather deep. Sends Braxton Lee back. He's in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch for the final out. Well, Mackenzie Mills works around a walk and a drop third strike on a strikeout to get out of trouble without any damage. The Blue Crabs coming to bat when we come back. This ball game scoreless from the Reg in Waldorf.
Sponsored by Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. For 65 years, Educational Systems Federal Credit Union has helped the members of the education community achieve their financial goals and dreams. To learn more, visit sfcu.org. Don't forget, fans, tomorrow is our Christmas in July extravaganza.
This is Andrew Luceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
So, what do you like about your home?
I practice stick handling sometimes. Mommy, go outside sometimes. I like playing in the class. Playing the Switch. I like the scramble. Daddy. I like to go if I goes at home. I've got the discussing. Why am I doing?
This is Andrew Luceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
And your family home, whatever that takes. So, what do you like about your home? Give us a call at 888-225-2736 or online at helpyouhomebluecrabs.com.
Mommy, go outside sometimes. I like playing in the class. Playing the Switch. I like the scramble. Daddy. I like to go if I goes at home. I've got the discussing. Why am I doing?
This is Andrew Luceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
And your family home, whatever that takes. So, what do you like about your home? Give us a call at 888-225-2736 or online at helpyouhomebluecrabs.com.
Mommy, go outside sometimes. I like playing in the class. Playing the Switch. I like the scramble. Daddy. I like to go if I goes at home. I've got the discussing. Why am I doing?
This is Andrew Luceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Whatever that takes.
Welcome back
So,
in the
what
bottom
do
of
you
the
like
first
about
inning. The first pitch is a called strike on Jack Sundberg. 0-1, that's up and away. The count 1-1 strike on the lefty. 1 strike, nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. This ball game is scoreless between the Blue Crabs and the Revs.
I like the scramble. Daddy. I like to go if I goes at home. I've got the
You all the numbers on the pitcher for your
This is Andrew Luceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
1 strike. It's Nick Travieso. Welcome back in the bottom of the first inning. The first pitch is a called strike on Jack Sundberg. 0-1, that's up and away. The count 1 strike on the lefty. 1 delivery. 1 strike, nobody out. In the bottom of the first inning. This ball game is scoreless between the Blue Crabs and the Revs. Travieso in his last outing at Long Island back on July
to
3rd.
go if I goes at home.
5 1/3 innings. You all the numbers on the pitcher for your
This is Andrew Luceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
12 base runners. Nick Travieso. Welcome back in the bottom of the first inning. The first pitch is a called strike on Jack Sundberg. 0-1. 2-2 up and in. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes on the lefty. 1 delivery. 1 strike. Nobody out. In the bottom of the first inning. Ball game is scoreless between the Blue Crabs and the Revs. Travieso in his last outing at Long Island. Ball four, a little bit outside. It's a leadoff, 5 1/3. Jack Sundberg, the numbers on the pitcher for first base. Nobody out.
You are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
12 base runners. Nick Travieso. Welcome back in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch is a called strike on Jack Sundberg. 2-2 up and in. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes on the lefty. One delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Bottom of the first inning. Ball game is scored. We apologize for the double sound there. We'll get back to it in just one moment. Pitch. That's a ground ball over to the third base side. It's fielded by Franco. The throw to first is in time. But having some technical difficulties, we're working on that throughout the ball game. We should have both cameras up and running. Either way, the ground out to third from Wolanski allows Jack Sundberg to reach second base. The Blue Crabs have a runner on second with 1 out. We're going to run through the Blue Crabs order in just one moment. Also run you through the defensive alignment for the York Revolution. Travieso comes set. Throw the first pitch to his catcher, John Nunez, momentarily. Travieso, first pitch. It's away. Count 1 ball and no strikes. The starting lineup for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. It's Jack Sundberg, the leadoff hitter. Michael Wolanski bats second. Jared Walker, the 3-hitter. David Harris is the cleanup hitter today. Alex Crosby bats 5th. Braxton Lee in the 6th spot. It's Joe DeLuca who's at first base batting 7th. The 1-0 pitch, big wave and a miss. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. The 8-hitter tonight is Ryan Haug, and it's Michael Baca at shortstop who bats 9th. Around the diamond for the York Revolution, it's Jeffrey Perez in left, Connor Lean in center, Troy Stokes Jr. in right. Third to first, Carlos Franco at third, Elmer Reyes at shortstop. Jack Sundberg started a little early. Now they've got him in a rundown. The toss to second, and now he's going to sprint back to the bag. Did they get him? Yes, he did. Third base umpire Eric Carmona, after it was Jack Sundberg who took a little too large of a lead. Nick Travieso stared him back, and Sundberg knew he had no shot at getting back to second base. He was caught in a rundown, tried to go to third, and he was tagged out. So instead of having 1 out and a runner on second base, there are 2 outs and there's nobody on. A successful pickoff from Nick Travieso. So after the initial walk from Sundberg, he reached second on the ground out from Wolanski and now thrown out. 1-1 pitch, wave and a miss. Breaking ball a little bit low in the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base paths are empty in the bottom of the first inning. Travieso. 1-2 pitch. Inbound. Popped him up, foul, third base side, and the count remains 1-2 as it gets toward the concourse level. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Southern Maryland, nothing. The Revs, nothing. No runs on no hits for both sides, although both teams do have base runners. Perez walked and Nelly Rodriguez reached via a strikeout. On a drop third strike as the 1-2 pitch is popped up third base side, foul yet again. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, fans, we appreciate your joining us tonight. You understand that in Charleston, we were unable to bring you the broadcast. We had some technical difficulties you're working on back at home. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball misses away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. We have the new equipment we needed in, and we're ready to go for the day. Base path's empty, 2 outs. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, that one misses. And now the count 3-2. Inside on the 2-2. And we got a full count on Jared Walker. David Harris on deck if necessary. He's the DH, has been the DH virtually the entire season. 3-2 pitch, low, ball 4. Second time in 3 batters, Nick Travieso has issued a walk. Runner on first base with 2 outs as David Harris comes to the plate. Give you the numbers on David Harris, who's had a terrific season. He leads the Atlantic League in batting average at .346. Has not played every game, though. On base percentage at .418. First pitch called strike at the knees, and the count no balls and 1 strike. We apologize for some of the audio difficulties we had earlier in the broadcast. Pitch, that's low. Runner goes, and Jared Walker dives in safely. Stolen base for Jared Walker. So runner in scoring position now with 2 outs. Sundberg walked, advanced to second on a ground out, but was picked off second base. But it's Jared Walker who now stands on second base following the walk. 1-1 pitch. That's low and in. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on Harris. A scoreless ball game in the bottom of the first inning. Both teams with 2 batters. For the Blue Crabs, a pair of 2 base runners, I should say. For the Blue Crabs, a pair of walks. For the Revs, a walk and a drop third strike. The pitch, line drive, right field, base hit. Fielding it on a hop, Troy Stokes Jr. coming around from second to score. It's Jared Walker, an RBI single for David Harris. It's the first base hit of the game, and it drives in the game's first run. David Harris doesn't try to do too much with it, just sort of pokes it to the right side. It's an RBI single, and the Blue Crabs have the first run of the ball game. 1-0 Southern Maryland, runner on first base and 2 outs. The inning continues as Alex Crosby comes to the plate. First pitch low, count 1 ball and no strikes. Crosby played well in the doubleheader yesterday. He'd been going through a slump prior. 4 for 7 in the games. He also had 3 RBIs, 3 of the team's 5 runs he drove in. First pitch called strike. Or the 1-0 pitch, I should say, called strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Count 1-1. Runner on first base with 2 outs. Blue Crabs lead this one 1-0. The pitch, this one chopped over toward first base. Nelly Rodriguez fields it belt high. He steps on the bag. And that ends the first inning. The Blue Crabs score 1 run on 1 hit at the end of the bottom of the first inning. It's the Blue Crabs 1 and the Revs 0. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Andres Riceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
So, what do you like about your home?
Practice like hockey. I practice stick handling and sometimes shooting. Mommy. Go outside sometimes. I like playing lacrosse. Playing the switch. I like the scribble. Daddy. I like to build Legos at home. I have the biggest closet. Riding my dirt bike.
We help you home. At Hometown Real Estate, we want to help you and your family home, whatever that takes and whatever that means to you. Give us a call at 888-225-2736 or online at helpyouhomebluecrabs.com.
First pitch called strike on Connor Lean, the former Blue Crab, who steps in from the right side and takes a strike from Mackenzie Mills. Count, no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 offering, that's away in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. We thank everybody for tuning in on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Count, 1 ball and 1 strike on Connor Lean. 1-1 offering. That's away in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike from Mackenzie Mills on Connor Lean. It's Navy night, so you recognize everybody who served in the Navy. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Top of the second inning, the Blue Crabs started the scoring back in the bottom of the first. An RBI single the other way from David Harris. It was Jared Walker who came around to score. Alex Crosby, the final out in the bottom of the first inning. 2-2 pitch, tap foul behind home plate from Connor Lean. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out in the top of the second inning. Pitch from Mills, big swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball right around knee high, and Carlos Franco swings over it. One away in the top of the second inning. Blue Crabs 1, the Revs nothing. Harris gets the sign from Ryan Haug. First pitch, breaking ball, a little bit inside in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Count 1-0 on the righty, Troy Stokes Jr. 1-0 pitch, a little bit low and in, count 2-0. Troy Stokes Jr. from Columbia, Maryland, not too far away from Waldorf, just about 45 minutes, an hour drive. 2-0 delivery. Called strike on the inside corner. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike on Stokes Jr. Blue Crabs coming to this one with a 50-19 record. Give you a little more on Atlantic League history on that number after this pitch as the 2-1 is fouled back. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Troy Stokes Jr. Blue Crabs set a first half record for the best winning percentage in a single half in Atlantic League history. 48-18, good for a .727 winning percentage. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tip into the mitt of Ryan Haug. It's strike 3. There are 2 outs in the top of the second. And that brings up Jack Kennelly. So Kennelly comes to the plate. Blue Crabs picked up their 50th win of the year as the pitch is swung on and driven foul behind home plate. Count, no balls and 1 strike. 50-19, the best record in Atlantic League history after 69 baseball games. They win today, they'd have the best record after 70 games. Traditionally, it's a 70-game half. 0-1 pitch, driven foul, third base side. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on in the top of the second. 1-0 Blue Crabs. That run came in the bottom of the first inning on a line drive to right field from David Harris. Driving in Jared Walker. 0-2 pitch. A little bit low. According to Silvio Martinez. We'll give you the umpiring crew today. It's Silvio Martinez behind home plate. Mike Mackey, who's been a mainstay at the Reg in Waldorf this year, he's at first base. And Eric Carmona is at third. 1-2 pitch coming from Mackenzie Mills. Swinging a line drive, right field, base hit. It rolls toward the glove of Braxton Lee. It's a 2-out single for Jack Kennelly, and there's a runner on first base with 2 outs.
Now batting the catcher, number 21, John Nunez.
And that brings John Nunez to the plate. John spelled J-H-O-N. There's a lot of people who spell, you hear J-O-N a lot. You hear primarily J-O-H-N. But John Nunez, J-H-O-N, not J-O-H. The H follows the J. Well, after a pair of strikeouts from Mackenzie Mills, surrenders a base hit to Jack Kennelly. Nunez stepped in. Now he steps out. Restraps the batting gloves. Runner on first base, 2 outs. Top of the second inning. Revs out hitting the Blue Crabs 2-1. Pitch, that's inside. Count 1 ball and no strikes. One-oh pitch. Check swing, and he went around on the count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, top of the second inning. Mackenzie Mills, the 1-1, that's away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on first base in the top of the second for the Revs. Mills, he's set. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, hit rather deep toward left center field. Back to the warning track in front of the wall. It's Jack Sundberg who tracks it down at the Holiday Inn Express sign for the final out in the top of the second inning. Another hard hit ball. It's the 3rd ball. It's been very well hit from the Revs. They pick up a single hit here in the top of the second inning. The Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second from the Reagan Waldorf.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Chick-fil-A of Charles County has been a proud supporter of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since their inception in 2008. For years, they have sponsored the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, America's prisoners of war and missing in action. In between the second inning of each game, there is a moment of silence brought to you by Chick-fil-A. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs appreciate and respect not only Chick-fil-A, but all of those that have served our great country. The seat that they sponsor was made possible by Chick-fil-A of Charles County. Thank you so much, and visit any of your Charles County Chick-fil-A locations today.
Well, Braxton Lee will get us started in the bottom of the second inning. Lee will be followed by DeLuca and Haug in the second. First pitch is a called strike from Nick Travieso. The Blue Crabs lead it 1-0. RBI from David Harris as he drives in. Jared Walker back in the first. 0-1 pitch. John Nunez framed it well, but couldn't get the call from Silvio Martinez. And the count 1-1 strike just off the outside edge. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball towards second base. Took an awkward hop. Kenley fields it though. Almost snow coned out of his glove. Held onto it and tossed to first in time for the out. And there is one away in the bottom of the second inning. Here comes Joe DeLuca. Joe DeLuca restraps the batting gloves. He'll step in from the left side. Blue Crabs 1, Revs 0, bottom second inning. Joe DeLuca enters today's ball game with 5 home runs on the year. He's been a little quieter in the home run department. Hit 3 homers in his first week with the Blue Crabs way back in early May. First pitch is low, and the count 1-0 strikes. He still has a strong .817 OPS. His batting average at .281. Was 1 for 6 across the doubleheader yesterday. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. It rolls toward the glove of the second baseman, Kenley. He tosses to first. It's 2 up. It's 2 down. It's 2 4-3 putouts. In the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Blue Crabs still as Ryan Haug will step in from the right side. Presses the batting helmet up against his head. Silvio Martinez points down toward third base. Blue Crabs 1 run on 1 hit. For the Revs, no runs on 1 hit. Haug digs that back right foot to the batter's box. Travieso set. First pitch to the righty. Upstairs, count 1-0 strikes. Interesting note on Ryan Haug. He's been given 40 free passes of sorts. 17 walks. He's been hit by 23 pitches. 1-0 delivery. That's up and in. That nearly hit him in the count. 2 strikes. 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. To think that somebody has been hit more times than they've been walked, it's something else. Blue Crabs, Ryan Haug has 23 times he's been hit by a pitch. Second on the Blue Crabs is 7. Jared Walker's been hit 7 times. Haug 23 times. Second most hit batsman, the record for the most hit batsman in the Atlantic League is 40. 2-0 pitch, high pop-up foul behind home plate. Count 2 strike. That came all the way back in 2004 when a player on the Long Island Ducks had 40 hit by pitches. If any of the fans would like a shout-out tonight, let us know where you are listening from. And we'll give you a shout-out on air. 2-1 pitch, line drive, shallow center field. It's Connor Lean who comes in and makes the catch toward right center for the final out. Blue Crabs retired in order. A pair of groundouts and a flyout in the bottom of the second inning. A clean inning from Nick Travieso. It's 1-0 Blue Crabs as we go to the top of the third.
To honor all of America's prisoners of war and missing in action. This sequence made possible by Chick-fil-A of Charles County. So please join us in a moment of silence to honor these great servicemen and women. Never forget, thank you. All right,
When you need a win on the road, don't get left stranded. Make AAA part of your roster and you'll always have someone on deck ready to get you home. AAA also offers car care, insurance, and travel services, and has stores conveniently located for Blue Crabs fans in Brandywine, Crofton, and Alexandria. Don't forget to ask them about membership discounts for military and first responders. Please visit AAA.com to learn more or to find a AAA location near you.
Top of the third inning. First pitch from Mackenzie Mills. Big wave and a miss. And the count, no balls in one strike on Jeffrey Perez. Back to the top of the order for the York Revolution. It's a 1-0 lead for the Blue Crabs in the top of the third inning. Perez will be followed by Reyes and Mesa. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball on the outer half. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Blue Crabs coming to this game 50-19. 0-2 pitch, fouled away, first base side, out of play. It's the best record after 69 games of baseball in Atlantic League history. A win today would put the Blue Crabs at 51-19, the best ever record after 70 games, 50-20. Pitch, line drive, right to the second baseman, Michael Wolanski. Well, Mackenzie Mills has had a strong start thus far. 2 1/3 innings, no runs. You can't really argue with that, but he's also gotten bailed out a little bit by his fielders. A couple of very well-hit balls towards center field that Jack Sundberg has tracked down. An extremely hard-hit ball to right field that Braxton Lee's gotten to. Pitch. Fastball, inside corner. Count, no balls in 1 strike on Elmer Reyes. Blue Crabs 1, Revs nothing. The lone run came back in the bottom of the first. An RBI single from David Harris. 0-1 pitch is fouled back. Count 0-1, base path's empty. Pitch, bounces about 2 feet in front of home plate. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Blue Crabs pitcher Mackenzie Mills is topped out at 90.7 miles an hour. Fastball has been sitting 89, touching 90. About 91 at one point. That's the fastest he's thrown tonight. He's thrown as high as 92 earlier this season. He was telling me when he was with the Marlins organization, he threw as high as 94, 95. 1-1 pitch, check swing. They motion down to first base. For the first base umpire, Mike Mackey says he held up. And the count now 2 balls and 1 strike on Reyes. One away in the top of the third. 2 balls and 1 strike on the righty Reyes. 2-2, I should say. Our scoreboard's had it at 2-1, but our home plate umpire, Silvio Martinez, made the correction. Pitch, ground ball, third base side. It's past the diving reach of Crosby. Elmer Reyes trots into second. It's just the second hit of the day for the Revs. It's a double for Elmer Reyes. And it's the first runner in scoring position the Revs have had since the first inning. Brings up Melky Mesa, the heart of the Revs order to come. We have a look at Melky Mesa. He'll be followed by Nelly Rodriguez and possibly the most dangerous hitter right now in the Atlantic League. That's Carlos Franco. Well, considering Mackenzie Mills has only allowed 2 hits today, the Revs have really hit the ball pretty hard. Time is called by Silvio Rodriguez before the pitch is thrown. So that pitch is not going to count. 1 away, runner on second base for the Revs. Mackenzie Mills gets a sign from Ryan Haug, the catcher tonight for the Blue Crabs. He's got a strong arm, a good defensive catcher. Pitch low and away, nicely picked by Haug. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Melky Mesa. Mesa has been a terrific career over his time with the Revs. Tonight, or this year really, has been a little bit tougher for him. One-oh delivery, ground ball, hard hit, third base side toward the Blue Crabs bullpen. Count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the third inning. Well, Mackenzie Mills, a big 6'5" lefty. He's got that extra leverage. Last season he was 3-5 at a 3.82 ERA. As the pitch runs low and in, count 2 balls and 1 strike. In the Frontier League, had that 3.82 ERA. Across his career, over the course of 8 years, the 26-year-old has a 4.40 ERA. The pitch that gets away from the catcher, Ryan Haug. Only momentarily, though, as he stays with it, and that holds Elmer Reyes at second base. Count 3 balls and 1 strike after the pitch in the dirt. Runner on second and 1 out. His whip this year, 1.18. Mills, pitch, upstairs, ball 4. Walk issued to Melky Mesa. So 2 on and 1 out. A double from Elmer Reyes as he smoked it down the third base side. And now it's Melky Mesa who picks up the base on balls. 1-0 Blue Crabs. Scored that run back in the first inning. Since then, this game has remained 1-0 as we stand in the top of the third inning, but the Revs have their best scoring chance yet. Runner in scoring position, 2 on, 1 out. Pitch, big wave and a miss. A breaking ball keeps Nelly Rodriguez off balance. Count, no balls and 1 strike. Top of the third inning. Revs have 3 hits, or 2 hits, I should say. No runs scored. Blue Crabs 1 run on 1 hit. Pitch, swing and a miss. Count 0-2. Count, no balls and 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Pitch runs low and in, count 1 and 2. Got a couple of comments to get to, especially in honor of Navy Night. Donnie Geeky, I beg your pardon, it's Wes Mumper who says, anchors away on U.S. Navy Night, get steamed, go Blue Crabs. Peter Worrell says, awesome. Mackenzie Mills, the pitch. Swing and a foul ball behind home plate. Count 1 and 2. Peter Worrell says, thank you for your service, Wes. We echo that here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. He says, thank you, Peter. Donnie Geeky is watching from Powder Springs, Georgia. Donnie, we welcome you to the broadcast. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball a little off the outside edge, and Mackenzie Mills has that 91-mile-an-hour sizzle past the bat of Nelly Rodriguez. There are 2 away into the top of the 3rd inning. Runners on first and second. Pitch low and away to Carlos Franco. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the 3rd inning. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch low and away. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Count 2-0, Franco at the plate. El Morea is on second. It's Melky Mesa from first. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch a little bit outside, count 3-0. So Mackenzie Mills worked a strikeout against Nelly Rodriguez, but he's fallen behind 3-0 against arguably the best hitter in the Atlantic League right now, who hits right in the middle of that Revs order. Bats 5th. 3-0 pitch. Swinging a foul ball back behind home plate. Count 3-1. I'm sure that Mackenzie Mills will try to make the case that he might be the best starter in the Atlantic League right now. He won the Atlantic League Pitcher of the Month award for June of this month. June of this year, I should say. June 2022 had a 1.53 ERA across 35 and a third innings. 3-1 pitch, very hard hit. First base side, that's going to tail foul. Deflects off the wall in foul territory and back into fair territory. Count 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning, the Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead over the Revs. Mackenzie Mills gets the sign from the catcher, Ryan Haug. 3-2 pitch to Franco. Swinging a high fly ball, right field. Definitely playable for Braxton Lee, who takes a couple steps back, now 2 steps in, and makes the catch for the final out. A hard-fought at bat from Mackenzie Mills, but he works around trouble in the 3rd stranding 2 runners on base at the end of 2.5. It's the Blue Crabs 1 and the Revs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Michael Baca steps in. First pitch from Nick Travieso. Line drive, first base side in foul territory. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. And Michael Baca, 9-1 and 2 come to the plate for the Blue Crabs, who lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Baca followed by Sundberg and the 2-hitter, Michael Wolanski. 0-1 pitch, fouled back to the netting. Count, no balls and 2 strikes on Michael Baca. The first inning, it was Sundberg who walked, was later picked off of second. That would prove costly. As the pitch called, strike 3. Michael Baca goes down looking on Nick Travieso's strikeout. 1 away in the top of the 3rd inning. So after Michael Baca goes down on strikes, it's Sundberg who steps in. I mentioned earlier that he was picked off and it proved costly. Well, 2 batters later, Jared Walker walked. So there was a runner on first base with 2 outs. He stole second base as the pitch is low and away, count 1-0. And was driven home by David Harris. So in that situation, Jack Sundberg likely would have come around and score along with Jared Walker. 1-0 pitch, that's inside. Count 2 balls and no strikes now on Sundberg. Looking for back-to-back walks to get things started, and his number that really stands out for Sundberg this year is the walks number. He's got a .380 on-base percentage despite just the .226 batting average. 2-0 pitch. Called strike, outside corner, count 2-1. Sundberg waves the bat behind his helmet. Pitch, that one's low, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 away, bottom 3rd. Southern Maryland scored the lone run of the game in the bottom of the 1st. It was Jared Walker who ended up scoring that run on the RBI single from the cleanup hitter, David Harris. 3-1 pitch, popped up foul, 3rd base side. And the count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom 3rd from Regency Furniture Stadium. So far, Mackenzie Mills, no runs allowed on 2 hits. The pitch, that one's popped up in foul territory. Count 3-2. Runner on first base. Sorry, base paths are empty. 3-2 pitches upstairs. As Michael Wolanski comes to the plate. Runner on first base with 1 out. Blue Crabs lead this one 1-0. We apologize. We had a couple of technical difficulties in the last couple of moments. So I've been trying to figure those out as well as there's a runner on first base with 1 out in the bottom of the third. As Wolanski steps in. Pitch, that's low. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Travieso, set of the belt. Pitch. Called strike. That one just barely paints the outside corner. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. After a strikeout from Michael Baca, it's Jack Sundberg who's worked his second walk of the day. And Travieso tosses to first, looking to pick him off for the second time today. One pitch, a little away, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Count 2-1 with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Travieso. Pitch. That's away. And the count 3 balls and 1 strike on Michael Wolanski. Control's been an issue so far for Travieso. Three-one pitch. Swinging a line drive, well hit, deep center field, but the center fielder Connor Lean is on the run. He makes the catch for the 2nd out. So there are 2 outs and a runner on first base. First pitch to Walker, swinging a high fly ball, deep right field, back to the warning track at the wall, and it's Troy Stokes Jr. in right field who tracked it down for the final out. Oh, that ball very well hit to right field. A lot of parks in the Atlantic League that's out of here, but not here and not tonight, as that ball tracked down in the corner from Troy Stokes Jr. to end the bottom of the 3rd inning. Blue Crabs still lead this one 1-0. We go to the top of the 4th from the Reagan Waldorf. Well, we go to the fourth inning. The Blue Crabs lead this one 1-0. As the first pitch to Connor Lean, swinging a foul ball right behind home plate over the press box, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Top of the fourth, the Blue Crabs 1, York 0. That run came back in the first inning. It's all the scoring we've had so far. 0-1 delivery from Mills. Called strike, and the count no balls and 2 strikes now. Nobody out. 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Mackenzie Mills with a strikeout of Connor Lean. And there is 1 away in the top of the fourth inning. Here comes Troy Stokes Jr. Troy Stokes Jr. made a terrific play in the defensive end of the field, tracking down that fly ball from Jared Walker. Pitch, this one on the ground toward third base, but it just tilts foul at the last moment. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Mackenzie Mills. 0-2 pitch to Troy Stokes Jr. A little bit low and in. Count 1-2. Bringing around some of the scores from the Atlantic League in a couple of moments. As the Blue Crabs had a 1-0 lead tonight. 1-2, that's low and in. Count 2-2. Gastonia and High Point are scoreless. Gastonia started the second half 3-0. High Point 0-3. 2-2. Low and in. Base paths are empty with 1 out. Our scoreboards have 3-1, although I thought it was 3-2. I thought he fouled 1 back and 1 to the third base side. Either way, pitch. That's upstairs. It doesn't matter either way. It's ball 4. And there's a runner on first base with 1 out. Well, bringing you back around some of the scores. Wild Health Genomes trail the Lancaster Barnstormers 6-5. It's Lexington over Long Island 1-0. Blue Crabs over York 1-0. And it's Staten Island in the lead yet again, 4-2 on top of Charleston. Staten Island 2-0 to start the second half. Would they ever love to go on a run right now? Runner goes, pitches up and in. Haug doesn't have a throw. A stolen base from Troy Stokes Jr. And there's a runner on second base now with 1 out. So after Lean goes down on strikes, a walk to Troy Stokes Jr. and a stolen base. Pitch, this one on the ground, foul, first base side. The count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, top 4. Mackenzie Mills looks back the runner at second base. It's Troy Stokes Jr. And Jack Kennelly calls time just before the pitch is thrown by Mackenzie Mills. He's not happy that time was called. Ball nearly hit Jack Kennelly. They'd have to imagine that the pitch was altered based on the late time call. Two balls and 1 strike, 1 out in the top of the fourth. The Blue Crabs still ahead by 1. RBI single from David Harris. The difference in this one. Line drive, right field, base hit. It's a tie ball game. Stokes round second. He'll score easily. It's an RBI double from Jack Kenley, and it's a 1-1 game in the top of the fourth inning. The Revs have battled back a walk, a stolen base, and an RBI double. And it's the Revs 1 and the Blue Crabs 1 in the top of the fourth. So Jack Kenley on second base. 1 out in the top of the fourth. So Jack Kenley comes through. The York Revolution and the Blue Crabs even at 1. First pitch is away for ball 1 on John Nunez. This ball game is tied as Nunez digs back in. Didn't play on Thursday, but was 2 for 5 in the last series. For 1 tonight's ball game as well. He and Lenin Rodriguez split the catching duties for the Revs. Rodriguez the primary catcher. Nunez will fill in quite frequently though. One ball, 1 strike on Nunez. Mackenzie Mills has gone 3 1/3. He's now conceded his first run of the ball game. One pitch. Came inside and must have clipped that back foot of John Nunez. And now Mackenzie Mills has run himself into some trouble. First a walk to Troy Stokes Jr., an RBI double from Jack Kenley, and a hit batsman to John Nunez, all to the very back of this batting order for the Revs. And now Darryl Thompson going to come out to have a chat with Mackenzie Mills. No action in the Blue Crabs bullpen quite yet. Top of the fourth inning, it is the Blue Crabs 1 and the Revs 1. The RBI double from Jack Kenley has tied the game here in the fourth. One of those moments, a lot of fans and the personnel here at the Blue Crabs in the press box going to get up and stretch around a little bit, get the blood flowing. Top of the fourth inning, the Revolution 1, the Blue Crabs 1 from the Reg in Waldorf. Home plate umpire Silvio Martinez resets things. Pitch to from Mills, swinging a high pop-up behind home plate. Haug has room to play it and makes the catch for the second out. So 1 pitch and a pop-up from Jeffrey Perez. And there are 2 outs in the fourth. Let's go through some of the numbers in today's ball game. Mackenzie Mills, 3 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits. He's also walked 3, but he struck out 5. Six base runners across 3 2/3 for Mackenzie Mills. He's thrown 76 pitches thus far. First pitch is away for ball 1 on Elmer Reyes. Right now, you'd have to imagine he's probably on track to go about 6 innings tonight, just based on pitch count alone. Mills, pitch, high pop-up in the infield. It's the first baseman, Joe DeLuca, who calls everybody else off and makes the catch for the final out down that first base line to end the top of the fourth inning. It's the Revolution who get one back on an RBI double from Jack Kenley. The game even at 1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
Well, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. This ball game is even at 1. Blue Crabs sent 4, 5, and 6 in the order. David Harris, Alex Crosby, Braxton Lee to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning. As Nick Travieso's been good thus far. First pitch called strike on the inner half, and the count no balls and 1 strike. The numbers so far on Travieso: 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. He has walked 3. Pitch, that one fouled back. The count 1-1 on David Harris. Last time out, Nick Travieso didn't walk all that many guys. Had an awfully tough outing when he allowed 10 hits across just 5 1/3 innings, but he only walked 2. Tonight, that hasn't been the story. 1 run across 3 innings. He's walked 3, but he's allowed just 1 hit. 1-1 pitch. That's away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on David Harris. Harris responsible for the lone run in this game for the Blue Crabs. Knocked a base hit to the right side. Travieso the pitch. High pop-up foul, first base side. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the fourth inning. Blue Crabs 1 and the Revs 1. Pitch to Harris. Swinging a foul ball, first base side yet again. Count stays 2-2. Bottom of the fourth inning. David Harris is the best has the best batting average in the Atlantic League. Pitch, line drive, right back up the middle. It's a base hit. Now Harris has been out for the last week with an illness. Did not play the last game in High Point. Did not play any of the 4 games against Charleston. He comes back today, hits a base hit to right field to drive in a run, and singles right back up the middle. The Blue Crabs have 2 hits. David Harris has 2 hits. It's Alex Crosby who digs in from the left side. Travieso. Pitch upcoming to his catcher, Nunez. First pitch, low and in on Crosby. It skitters away from the catcher, Nunez. And it's David Harris who swipes second base and yells down toward the Blue Crabs bullpen, who yells back at him a little bit. Harris not known for having all the speed in the world, but a bit of a wild pitch. Didn't get all that far away from Nunez, but Harris was awfully confident. He took off for second. He's at second base. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch is up and away now to Crosby. Count 2-0. Runner on second base and nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Blue Crabs won and the Revs won. Nick Travieso. 2-0 pitch. Line drive, left center field, well hit. Connor Lee jumps on his horse and makes the catch in left center for the first out. That ball well hit the other way. It was slicing toward left center. Lean had a long way to go, but he runs well and tracked that one down. There's one away in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, that brings up Braxton Lee. Runner on second base, 1 out. Joe DeLuca in the on-deck circle. Blue Crabs looking to take the lead back here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch to Lee, up and away. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs had a 4-game hit streak going into that doubleheader against Charleston. They lost game 1, they won game 2. That 4-game win streak does not rank in the top 5 win streaks for the Blue Crabs across the first 70 games. Pitch, foul ball, third base side. It's out of play. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Lee. Blue Crabs had a 12-game hit streak, had an 8-game win streak, which matched the previous team record of 8. Also had a 7-game win streak, a 5-game win streak, 2 5-game win streaks. And that 4-game win streak, again, 6th longest win streak of the season. It's unbelievable the sorts of streaks this team has been able to put together. And it's like, oh, they've won 4 in a row, no big deal. 1-1 pitch, that's away. Count 2 balls and a strike. The Blue Crabs had that 12-game win streak at the very beginning of the season. They lost the first game of the year in Lexington. They won the next 3 and then went on an absolute storm, winning the next 9 consecutive games. Wins over Lancaster, Staten Island. 2-1 pitch, big wave and a miss, count 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Braxton Lee, the former big leaguer, whose batting average has been trembling back and forth right around 300. It sits directly at 300 for now. 2-2 pitch, foul tip into the mitt of Nunez. It's strike 3. And Braxton Lee down on strikes. He's 0 for 2 today. And there's this runner on second base still with 2 outs. Seems like it's just David Harris. He's the only one who's been able to solve Nick Travieso thus far. He singled the center. It's Alex Crosby who flied out towards center field, and Braxton Lee down on strikes. It brings up Joe DeLuca, the Blue Crabs' first baseman. Looks to drive in a run. First pitch called strike at the knees, count 0-1. Joe DeLuca, a catcher and first baseman for the Blue Crabs. Ryan Haug's been getting the majority of the starts at catcher, but Stan Clyburn can't keep Joe DeLuca's bat out of the lineup, and therefore he's been cycled between first base and catcher, even if it means putting him at DH for the day. This one, swinging a high fly ball, center field rather deep, sends lead back to the warning track at the wall, and he makes the catch. Very, very well hit toward deep center field. But it's not enough to get this one out of the ballpark at the Reg in Waldorf. A long fly out to left. That's all it goes down on the score sheet. We're finished with 4 innings of play. This one still level at 1.
This is Joe DeLuca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, the first pitch to Melky Mesa, hard hit, third base side in foul territory. Just past a couple of Blue Crabs, including Blue Crabs camera operator, or photographer, I really should say. We have our camera operator up top here, Wes. Blue Crabs photographer down on the field, Bert Hinman. As the 0-1 pitch is away, count 1 ball and 1 strike. And Eric down on the field gives us a thumbs up in the booth. Works with the Bat Boys Instagram and TikTok accounts. The 1-1 pitch is up and away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Definitely give them a follow if you have not already. Top of the 5th inning, 1-1 ball game. 2-1 pitch. That's low. Count 3-1. Give you the numbers on the day for Mackenzie Mills. Thrown 82 pitches across 4 innings. Allowed 3 hits, 1 run. He's walked 3 at risk of walking 4. Pitch. Swinging a high pop-up in the infield. Alex Crosby calls everybody off in foul territory down the third baseline, where he makes the catch about 40 feet inside of the third base bag. And there is 1 away in the top of the 5th. Hasn't been the easiest of games for Mackenzie Mills, especially with the walk numbers being up, and it is back-to-back starts for him with the walks up. 3 walks across 4 and a third innings, but the hit numbers have been down. Just 3 hits, and he allowed just 3 hits across 6 innings last time out. First pitch, a little bit up and away for ball one to Nelly Rodriguez. Rodriguez with 10 home runs on the year. Also been a mainstay in this Revs lineup for quite a few years. The 1-0 pitch is outside. Count 2-0. With one away in the top of the fifth, a 1-1 ball game. 10th professional season, the all-time leader in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and top 10 in average for Nelly Rodriguez. 2-0 pitch called strike. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one delivery, called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top 5. Originally drafted by the Cleveland Indians in 2012. Played 196 games at the AAA level. A pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout for Mackenzie Mills. It's his 6th strikeout of the game, and he continues to deal in the top of the 5th inning. The pitch count hasn't stayed down, but the runs have. 4 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 run for Mackenzie Mills thus far. First pitch, check swing, called strike on Carlos Franco. Franco, a 4-game hitting streak, but he's got a 13-game on-base streak. 0-1. A little bit inside on a breaking ball, count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, top 5. Career .254 hitter with 111 home runs. And 637 career RBIs. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball drops in on the inside corner. Count 1-2. Franco hitting .316 this year. That number is good, but the number that stands out, 23 homers, 74 ribbies. 1-2 pitch. Skips away from Ryan Haug, low in the dirt. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top 5, 1-1 ball game. Mackenzie Mills takes his time, steps off the mound. Mills set of the belt. Waits for Franco to get ready. Now here's the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Couple of awkward hops, but it's right to the glove of Michael Wolanski. He taps, or he flips to first base. And that ends the inning. 1-2-3 inning from Mackenzie Mills. This ball game is even at 1 at the end of 4.5. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Whether it's Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, Aaron Rodgers, or even the son of a former Blue Crab, Patrick Mahomes, you've seen many athletes endorsing State Farm. That's because your State Farm agent has your back through good times and not so good times. That's why all the Blue Crabs, Daryl Thompson and the whole team, trust State Farm with their insurance needs. State Farm is the company people have trusted for over 99 years to help life go right. Call your local State Farm agent, Greg Conklin, today at 240-776-4289.
Bottom of the fifth inning, a 1-1 ball game. First pitch to Ryan Howe comes up and in, nearly hits him. A 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the fifth inning. Ryan Howe has been hit by 23 pitches this year. That leads the Atlantic League by a mile, but it's not the record for the most in an Atlantic League season. In fact, he'd probably have to match his number in the first half for him to do that. 1-0 pitch, called strike on the inside corner, count 1-1. The record was set all the way back in 2004. Record of 40 hit-by pitches in a season. That wasn't an 140-game season as opposed to a 132. 1-1 pitch up and in, count 2 balls and 1 strike. So that makes some difference. As Howe digs back in from the right side. A couple of partial swings. Bat back behind his helmet. Pitch, ground ball over toward third. Fielded on the backhand by the third baseman. That's Franco. He fires across the diamond. It's in time for the out. And there's one away in the bottom of the fifth inning. And here comes Michael Baca. First pitch, a little bit, well, that one's on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count no balls and 1 strike. We apologize for some technical difficulties as to why the camera went black momentarily. Should be all back up and running. 0-1 delivery. Line drive, foul behind home plate. And the count no balls and 2 strikes quickly out of Michael Baca. Base paths are empty with 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. There is action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. Bradley Roney is up and throwing. I'd imagine that Mackenzie Mills starts the 6th. He's only allowed 1 run. Pitch, this one, a ground ball toward the middle. Fielded on the backhand by the shortstop Reyes. He fires to first. There are 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. From the starting pitcher, Nick Travieso, who's been very, very good tonight. Really can't ask for much more from Travieso. Isn't the first time Travieso's faced the Blue Crabs either. As the first pitch upcoming to Jack Sundberg. Pitch is a little bit away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Earlier this year, Nick Travieso faced off against the Blue Crabs back on June 28th. 1-0 pitch, high pop-up in the infield. Franco onto the infield grass. He makes the catch as he had to lean into that one. It was running away from him. That time around, he went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Tonight, he's gone 5 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 run. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It's the Revs 1. It's the Blue Crabs 1. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All Pawn is Southern Maryland's premier pawn shop and is the official pawn shop of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Stop by and say hello today. They've been a part of the Southern Maryland community for 18 years. If you need some cash to hold you over, or if you're just doing some spring cleaning and want to clear some stuff out, please bring it by All Pawn and let them make you an offer. If you have broken jewelry or some that you just don't want anymore, please bring it by, and they'll pay you more than anyone in the Tri-County area. They're located on 301 in White Plains, just south of DeMar Road. Go Blue Crabs!
Well, Connor Lean steps in from the right side. Top of the 6th inning, we're going to get things underway as Mackenzie Mills returns to the mound. 1-1 ball game. Blue Crabs scored 1 in the first. Revs responded with 1 in the 4th. First pitch, fastball called strike. Count no balls and 1 strike on Connor Lean. Terrific evening for baseball at Regency Furniture Stadium before the rain comes in tomorrow. 0-1 pitch popped up foul, first base side. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes on Connor Lean. Well, Connor Lean will be followed by Stokes and Kenley as the ball comes in from the bullpen as Bradley Roney continues to warm up. Blue Crabs used quite a few relievers yesterday. Spot start for Nick Wells. Went 2 2/3 innings, allowing 6 runs. Dalton Geeky went 3 1/3 innings. 0-2 pitch, low and in. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. 1-1 ball game. As I mentioned, Geeky pitched 3 1/3, 2 2/3 from Wells yesterday, so neither of them will be available. Andres Briseño went just 2/3 of an inning in game 2, so you'd have to think he'd probably be available today. Blue Crabs only have 7 relievers now. And Dario Polanco isn't used all that often. Pitch to Connor Lean, breaking ball low and in. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 97th pitch thrown from Mackenzie Mills. Two-two pitch, swing and a miss, or a foul tip, I beg your pardon. It looked like it was strike 3, but Ryan Howe couldn't hang on to it. It must have hit him in the hand. And Ryan Howe in a lot of pain. Looked like it was strike 3. It appeared as though he'd swung through it, but not the case. So they'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, top of the 6th. You'd really have to wonder how much longer the leash is. 99th pitch upcoming from Mackenzie Mills. Inbound, up and away, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. We're glad you decided to join us. It was an 0-2 count already on Lean. Now it's 3-2, the 3-2 pitch, strike 3. Well, Connor Lean fought back in the at-bat, made it a 3-2 count, but Mackenzie Mills retires him on a strikeout. One away in the top of the 6th inning. I'll give you the numbers for both pitchers tonight. They've been very good. It's been a pitcher's duel through 5 innings. For Mackenzie Mills, 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. He's walked 3, he's struck out 7. For Nick Travieso, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. First pitch low and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Travieso, 5 innings again, 2 hits. For Mackenzie Mills, 5 1/3, 3 hits. That's the only difference. As the 1-0 pitch is popped up in foul territory, it's Joe DeLuca who almost overran it but made the catch overhead for the second out. 2 up and 2 down for Mills as he's past the 100-pitch mark now. And there is action in the Blue Crabs bullpen, but I don't think Stan Clyburn's going to make a change until we see Mackenzie Mills falter. I'd imagine after this inning he might make the change, but not mid-inning. 108 pitches, that's the max this year from Mackenzie Mills. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike on Jack Kenley, the lefty. 1-1 ball game. Blue Crabs with the run in the first. Revs with a run in the fourth. We're in the top of the 6th now. It's all the offense to show for it. 0-1 pitch, line drive into right field, a base hit over the head of Michael Wolanski. And there's a runner on first base with 2 outs for the Revs. That was the 104th pitch thrown by Mackenzie Mills, whose ERA is down to a flat 3. As John Nunez, the 9-hitter, comes to the plate. The back of the order is really what's done all the damage for the Revs tonight. Back in the 4th when they scored their run, a walk to Stokes, an RBI double from Jack Kenley, and a hit-by pitch to John Nunez. Pitch, line drive, center field, base hit. Not all that well hit. It just sort of tailed to center field. But it's now back-to-back hits for the Revs across the first 5 2/3 innings. Mackenzie Mills had allowed 3 hits. Against the last 2 batters, he's allowed 2 hits. Stan Clyburn hasn't moved yet. You'd have to wonder if he's going to make the move to Bradley Roney with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 6th inning. 1-1 ball game it remains. And Jeffrey Perez will come to the plate. Runners on first and second. It's Nunez from first. It's Kenley from second. Back-to-back hits. As you go back to the top of the order, Perez is 0 for 2, but he did walk. First pitch called strike on the outside corner, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Ryan Haug popped up after that last one to check on the runner on first base, Nunez, who scampered back to the bag before Haug was willing to throw it. 0-1 pitch upcoming from Mackenzie Mills. Line drive, 1 hop to short, fielded by Baca. The toss to second is in time for the final out. Well, the defense has been good all night long behind Mackenzie Mills. He surrenders 2 hits in the 6th. At the end of 6 innings of play, it is a 1-1 ball game. Yet again, Mackenzie Mills avoids trouble in the top of the 6th. Blue Crabs coming to bat when we come back on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you need a win on the road, don't get left stranded. Make AAA part of your roster, and you'll always have someone on deck ready to get you home. AAA also offers car care, insurance, and travel services, and has stores conveniently located for Blue Crabs fans in Brandywine, Crofton, and Alexandria. Don't forget to ask them about membership discounts for military and first responders. Please visit AAA.com to learn more or to find a AAA location near you.
Bottom of the sixth inning, Blue Crabs send 2, 3, and 4 to the plate. Wolanski followed by Walker and Harris. First pitch to Wolanski, upstairs for ball one. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the sixth inning, hits have been hard to come by for the Blue Crabs. They have 2, both belong to David Harris. Blue Crabs a run in the first, Revs a run in the fourth. That's all the scoring so far today. Called strike on the outside corner. And Wolanski is not a fan of that call. 1 ball and 1 strike now on the righty. Base paths are empty. The 1-1 delivery. Ground ball toward the middle. And it's past the sliding reach of the shortstop, Reyes, for a base hit into center field. Just the 3rd hit for the Blue Crabs today. And it's the first hit by anybody not named David Harris, as Jared Walker will come to the plate. Walker wipes some dirt on his batting gloves. Now steps in. Taps home plate a few times, awaits the offering from Nick Travieso, who's just surrendered his 3rd hit of the ball game. Allowed just 1 run on 3 hits. He's walked 3 across 5+ innings. First pitch called strike on Jared Walker in the count. No balls and 1 strike. No action at all in the Revs bullpen. Travieso's only thrown 75 pitches. The righty's been very good against the Blue Crabs so far this year and so far tonight as well. 0-1 delivery, fouled back behind home plate, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. Including tonight's game, he's gone 11 innings so far this year. And he's allowed just 2 runs on 5 hits. Walks have been an issue, though. Across those 11 innings, he's walked 8 batters. Walked 5 batters in game 1. He's walked 3 batters tonight. Count 0-2 on Jared Walker. Offering upstairs and inside. Count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on first base. Bottom 6. 1-2 offering. Line drive in the infield. Elmer Reyes looked like he might have to play it over his head, but instead he stays right where he is and makes the catch on a shallow line out that had some air to it. And there's one away in the bottom of the 6th. David Harris is 2 for 2 tonight. A terrific evening. He's also driven in a run. He brought in Jared Walker back in the 1st inning. First pitch is away for ball 1. David Harris is hitting .352 on the year. Already led all Atlantic League batters in average. Came into this game with a .346 average, the second best batting average at .335. He's now 17 points higher. This one, swinging a line drive. Left field line, a base hit. It drops. Wolanski's waved around third out and left. Perez had some trouble with it, and he's going to score without a problem. It's a 2-1 Blue Crabs lead. Perez had some trouble with it in the left field corner. It's a double for David Harris. I'm not sure he's going to get an RBI on that. It might be an error charge to Perez. Either way, Michael Wolanski scores a run, and the Blue Crabs have a 2-1 lead on a double from David Harris. And Southern Maryland is on the board for the first time since the top of the 4th inning. David Harris has 3 of the team's 4 hits. He also has both RBIs. He's driven in Michael Wolanski in the 6th. He drove in Jared Walker in the 1st. 5 1/3 innings for Nick Travieso. He's now surrendered 2 runs on 4 hits. And RBI is credited to David Harris, who's 3 for 3 on the day. He's now doubled and driven in 2 runs. The batting average from .352 to .356. It's Alex Crosby who digs in. First pitch, ground ball, first base side. Fielded at the belt by Nelly Rodriguez. He tosses to the pitcher covering Nick Travieso, and there are 2 away. Meanwhile, Harris from 2nd to 3rd. It's a 2-1 lead for the Blue Crabs. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, it brings up Braxton Lee. Here comes Braxton Lee. The Blue Crabs ahead by 1 with 2 outs. They could use an insurance run. First pitch away for ball 1 on Braxton Lee, in the count 1 ball and no strikes. David Harris on 3rd base. First pitch to Lee, ground ball, it deflects off of Travieso, going to be a tough play. There's no throw at first. Harris scores from 3rd. The Blue Crabs lead it 3-1. A ground ball from Braxton Lee that deflected off of the leg of Nick Travieso over to the 3rd base side. Carlos Franco had the presence of mind to go and get that ball, but by the time he figured he'd have a throw, Lee was going to be safe at first, and there was no way they were going to get Harris to the plate. The Blue Crabs have scored 2 in the 6th. They lead this one 3-1. And here comes Joe DeLuca. He's 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch to DeLuca. Big wave and a miss. Count 1 ball, no balls and 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. DeLuca at the plate. It's Haug on deck. Travieso the pitcher. Set of the chest. Pitch. 0-1 is away. That's upstairs. The throw to first base to check on Lee is also a little bit offline. Nelly Rodriguez did well to get over and catch the ball to prevent it from going into right field. Long lead and a long secondary lead for Braxton Lee as well. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Joe DeLuca. Blue Crabs 3 runs on 5 hits. And they've got a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 6th. Bradley Roney's been warming up for a while. I would imagine he would start the 7th inning. 1-1 delivery, ground ball toward first. A little bit of trouble fielding it for Nelly Rodriguez. He was off balance, but caught it nonetheless and steps on first base in time to beat DeLuca for the final out. Well, the Blue Crabs scored 2 runs on 3 hits, including an RBI double from David Harris and an RBI single from Braxton Lee. The Blue Crabs now lead this one 3-1 at the end of 6 innings of play. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Elmer Reyes to the plate to get things started in the top of the 7th. The Blue Crabs lead it 3-1. The first pitch is upstairs from Bradley Roney, the new pitcher in the game for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Roney 4-0 on the year, a 3.94 ERA. The pitch, this one fouled off first base side out of play. It was the first time that Bradley Roney had allowed a run in almost a month. That was back on July 5th. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run. Also struck out 1 and made an error in his first inning of work. 1-1 pitch, hard hit, ground ball over to third. Throw from Crosby is wildly over the head of the first baseman, Joe DeLuca. What should have been a ground out to third instead turns into a throwing error by Alex Crosby. There's a runner on first base and nobody out as Elmer Reyes reaches. So an E5 to get things going for the Revs. There is action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. It appears as though Matt Latos is up and throwing. Well, this will be a major turn of events. We'll get to that in just one moment as Melky Mesa steps in. First pitch upstairs. Count 1 ball and no strikes. There is a chance here that the Blue Crabs have moved Latos from the closer to the setup man. Briseño has closed a couple of games recently. He has 4 saves on the year, and 3 of them in the last month. 1-0 pitch, called strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner on first base, nobody out. 3-1 Blue Crabs in the top of the 7th. That would be a major development for the Blue Crabs. They're changing Endris Briseño to the closer and Matt Latos to the setup man. 1-1 pitch, big wave and a miss, count 1 and 2. And I think it could affect things in 2 different ways. First of all, I think the Blue Crabs want to make sure that they get Endris Briseño, whose ERA is under 1, as their consistent closer because he's just been that good. Second thing, from Endris Briseño's perspective, I think you're probably a little more likely to get picked up by an affiliated team or even the Mexican League. As the 1-2 pitch, high fastball, strike 3, 94, sizzles past the bat of Melky Mesa, and there's 1 away. But I think affiliated clubs and Mexican League teams as well would probably be more interested in seeing a closer as opposed to that setup man. Briseño's got all the tools. Guy throws 96, 97. He's touched 98 this year. And he's got a very strong breaking ball. He's primarily a 2-pitch guy. The fastball, and then he mixes in the slider. He also, as the pitch is a little bit low, has a changeup. Pitch is a little bit low, and the count 1-0. His stuff is almost certainly the best stuff in the Atlantic League, which is why many are so surprised that we haven't seen him picked up by an affiliated club. Meanwhile, Bradley Roney's also been dealing. 1-0 pitch, fastball a little bit low and away, count 2 balls and no strikes. Look at another guy who's got great stuff. Roney's at the top of that list. His ERA just 3.90, but his breaking ball is really good. His fastball, 94, 95. Two-0 pitch. Fastball a little in, the count 3 balls and no strikes. And that initial error from Alex Crosby, the throwing error to first base, could come back to cost the Blue Crabs. Latos still up and throwing. He may be going in the 8th inning, as the Blue Crabs would send Briseño in the 9th. And if Latos were to falter, then you go to Briseño for a 5-out save. 3-0 pitch, up and in, it's ball 4. Well, Bradley Roney looked really good in the first 2 batters. After a ground ball to third from Elmer Reyes, a strikeout from Melky Mesa, but it's a 4-pitch walk to Nelly Rodriguez. And there are runners on first and second with 1 out. Tying run on base, go-ahead run at the plate. It's Carlos Franco, who has the most runs batted in at the Atlantic League. He has 23 home runs on the year. He's 0 for 3, seems like he's due. First pitch, high fly ball, center field. Definitely playable for Sundberg, who takes a few steps over toward right center, makes the catch. Tagging from second to third, it's Elmer Reyes. Runners on the corners now with 2 outs as Carlos Franco just got a little bit under that ball. Top of the 7th inning with 2 outs. Bradley Roney trying to escape trouble. He's allowed just to walk, but his fielders haven't picked him up the same way they picked up Mackenzie Mills. Throwing error from Alex Crosby is the reason there is a runner on third base now as opposed to just a runner on first. First pitch upstairs, count 1 ball and no strikes on Connor Lean. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Blue Crabs 3, the Revs 1. 1-0 delivery, line drive foul, first base side, count 1-1. From third base, it's Elmer Reyes. Over at first base, Nelly Rodriguez. Reyes reached on an error by Crosby. Rodriguez on first after a 4-pitch walk. But the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike on the 6-hitter Connor Lean. Pitch a little bit inside, and the count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Lean takes a couple of practice swings and digs his back right foot into the batter's box. Count 3 balls and 1 strike. Roney the pitch, line drive, center field. Coming in, it's Sundberg who makes the catch below the waist level. As he had to lean in to make that grab. Either way, the Revs strand 2 on base. Bradley Roney works around an error and a walk. At the end of 6.5, it's time to get up and stretch. The Blue Crabs have a 2-run lead. Don't go anywhere. First pitch misses low and away for ball one on Ryan Haug. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Blue Crabs lead this one 3-1. New pitcher has entered the game for the York Revolution. We'll break down all the details on that momentarily. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Two-zero pitch. Swinging a high pop-up right field. Troy Stokes Jr. takes about 20 steps over toward that line and makes the catch for the first out. And that brings up Michael Baca. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out as Baca comes to the plate. He'll be followed by Jack Sundberg. 8-9-1 to the dish for the Blue Crabs. Baca without a hit so far today. 0 for 3 as the pitch is fouled back to the netting and the count 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch called strike, and the count no balls and 2 strikes now for the Blue Crabs on Michael Baca. Oh, 2 pitch, that's away. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Blue Crabs have a 3-1 lead over the Revs. Pitch, that one fouled off first base side. Count remains 1-2 on Baca. The 1-2 pitch, that's low. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2 is low, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch. Tap foul, third base side. Base paths are empty with 1 out. Blue Crabs have a 3-1 lead over the Revs. Baca will be followed by Sundberg. Blue Crabs 1 run in the first. Revs with 1 in the 4th. The 3-1 pitch, 3-2 pitch, I should say, back to the mound. And the toss to first is in time. And there are 2 away. The new pitcher for the York Revolution is Brett DeGus. He pitched the major leagues as recently as last season. Had a 7.56 ERA across 50 innings last year. But this year, with the York Revolution, things have also been tough for him. A 6.43 ERA. Pitch, that one up and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. His whip is not all that high at just 1.14. But a lot of earned runs. Allowed 4 runs in 1 inning against Staten Island back on June 26th. The 1-0 pitch, called strike, count 1 ball and 1 strike. 5 hits against Staten Island on June 26th. On July 1st and July 3rd, he allowed 1 hit and an earned run. The pitch to Sundberg, fouled back, count 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3-1 Blue Crabs. The pitch called, strike 3. Inside corner, it gets Jack Sundberg looking on strikes. That ends the 7th inning. The Blue Crabs have a 3-1 lead over the Revs.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All Pawn is Southern Maryland's premier pawn shop and is the official pawn shop of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Stop by and say hello today. They've been a part of the Southern Maryland community for 18 years. If you need some cash to hold you over, or if you're just doing some spring cleaning and want to clear some stuff out, please bring it by All Pawn and let them make you an offer. If you have broken jewelry or some that you just don't want anymore, please bring it by, and they'll pay you more than anyone in the Tri-County area. They're located on 301 in White Plains, just south of DeMar Road. Go Blue Crabs!
Well, the first pitch from Bradley Roney. He's a little bit low for ball 1 on Troy Stokes Jr. The pitch from to Stokes Jr. is a line drive to center field. A sliding play at center field by Jack Sundberg to make the catch. And the first pitch, big wave and a miss for strike 1 on Jack Kennelly. The lefty swings over a fastball from Bradley Roney. Sorry about that. Working through a couple of things here on the technical side. Count no balls in 1 strike in the top of the 8th. Pitch, that one popped up in foul territory, third base side. Top of the 8th inning, 3-1 Blue Crabs. One away. Count no balls and 2 strikes now. 0-2 pitch, that's away. Count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Blue Crabs with 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the 6th. The 1-1 pitch, that's a 1-2 pitch, I should say. That's away. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kenley kicks around some dirt from the left side. Takes a couple of partial swings. Two-two offering from Bradley Roney. Upstairs, count 3-2. Roney really hasn't had too many issues with control recently. And meanwhile, Kenley is 3 for 3 on the ball game. Three-two pitch, swinging a high pop up. Shallow left center. It's the shortstop, Baca, back onto the grass. He makes the catch, and there are 2 away. Well, Bradley Roney's been really good so far. And meanwhile, it's Endres Briseño up and throwing. You have to wonder, where do the Blue Crabs go in the 9th? Latos was warming up prior to the 8th inning. And now with 2 outs in the 8th, it's Briseño who started throwing. Will the Blue Crabs see Briseño in the 9th? Are they going to see Latos in the 9th? First pitch, breaking ball, called strike. Count no balls and 1 strike. The pitch, this one on the ground towards second. It rolls to the glove of Wolanski. He flips to first, and that ends the inning. Bradley Roney, across 2 innings of work, issues just 1 walk and no hits and no runs to go along with it. Quite a couple innings for Bradley Roney. The Blue Crabs pitching staff has held the Revs to 1 run on 5 hits. The Blue Crabs lead this one 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
This is Dalton Geeky, and you're listening to Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the 8th inning as Michael Wolanski comes to the plate for the Blue Crabs. New pitcher on the mound for the Revs. It is Tuck Tucker. And how about that name? It's his first appearance in professional baseball. He was in the NAIA World Series at Georgia Gwinnett. Also pitched at the University of Maryland and LSU Shreveport, along with New Mexico Junior College. Was the number 4 left-handed pitcher out of Texas in the perfect game class of 2016. As the pitch is away for ball 1 on Michael Wolanski. That's quite the honor to be a top 5 pitcher, or top 5 lefty even, in the state of Texas, which is big for baseball, a hotbed. 1-0 pitch. It's a little bit low, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls, no strikes, nobody out. Two-0 delivery, up and away, count 3 balls and no strikes in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-1 Blue Crabs. 2 insurance runs in the 6th have come up big. Meanwhile, Tuck Tucker's had some issues finding the strike zone. (3-0). Called strike, count 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody outs in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th, I should say. Bradley Roney was really good along with Mackenzie Mills, a 3-1 offering, a high pop-up in the infield. It's the shortstop, Elmer Reyes, who calls off the third baseman, Carlos Franco, and makes the catch for the first out. And here comes Jared Walker, bottom 8. Andres Briseño still warming up in the Blue Crabs bullpen. And Matt Latos was warming up prior to the 8th. It's now Andres Briseño warming up prior to the 9th inning. That could mark a significant change for the Blue Crabs down the stretch. The pitch, wave and a miss from Jared Walker. And the count, no balls and 1 strike in the bottom of the 8th. Walker digs back in. Tuck Tucker. Here's the 0-1. Called strike at the belt. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. Base path's empty for the Blue Crabs in the bottom of the 8th. 3-1 lead. Meanwhile, Andres Briseño is warming up. Matt Latos was getting some throws in back in the 7th when Bradley Roney was in, but Roney ended up going 2 innings of work. Did not allow a hit. He walked 1 batter. It's also an error. 0-2 pitch, low in the dirt, and the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch, up and in. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Walker. Still only 1 away for the Blue Crabs, and it's David Harris, who's a perfect 3 for 3 today on deck. Blue Crabs haven't had all that many guys come to the plate because the Revs have kept the hits to a minimum. They've even kept the walks to a minimum. Give you the official numbers after this pitch. 2-2. Called strike 3. Jared Walker can't believe it. He thought it was low and away. And he lets the home plate umpire Silvio Martinez know just about as much. And there are 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, let's give you the update on the box score in today's game. Pitching staff for York gone 7 2/3 innings. On 5 hits and 3 walks. It's just 8 base runners throughout the entirety of tonight's game. And one of those base runners was picked off. So only 7 were either left stranded or scored, which is a very low number. First pitch up and in on David Harris. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. So there could only be 4 batters in the Blue Crabs order who have more than 3 at-bats tonight, or 3 plate appearances. This is David Harris's 4th, 1-0 pitch away, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. David Harris has had such a great night. He's seen his batting average rise from .345 to .356. By far and away the top of the Atlantic League. 2-0 pitch upcoming to Harris away, and the count 3 balls and no strikes. Harris, the former MVP over in the Frontier League. And he's got a good shot at being the MVP here in the Atlantic League this year if he keeps it up. And while he's one of the older players, been out of affiliated ball for a while. 3-0 pitch is a called strike. Would not be surprised to see someone like David Harris, who's hitting .356, with some pop in his back, get picked up by an affiliated ball team. 3-1, swing and a miss, fastball up and away. Oh, that's only strike 2, I beg your pardon. And count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. A hitter's count, and David Harris swung away at it. Meanwhile, Tucker looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The NAIA product. 3-2 upstairs. That's ball 4. Runner on first base with 2 outs. And here comes Alex Crosby. Runner on first base and 2 outs. Blue Crabs 3-1 lead. Crosby's batting average has been over .300 for almost the entire year, but it's slipped right down to that .300 mark. First pitch from the lefty, a wave and a miss. Breaking ball low and out of the zone. The count, no balls and 1 strike. Well, Nick Travieso went 6 innings. He allowed 3 runs on 5 hits and 3 walks. Since then, the bullpen's been very good for the Revs. 0-1 pitch, low in the dirt. Rolls away from the catcher. That's John Nunez tonight. Alex Crosby, the lefty. It's .289 against left-handed pitchers. Against right-handed pitchers, though, his number is just a little bit better at .308. The pitch, this one, swinging a high fly ball, left field line. It's tailing foul, and it finds its way up toward the Legends Club. Braxton Lee, another guy who hits almost as well against lefties as he does against righties. It's about 10 points higher against right-handed pitchers than he does against left-handed pitchers. But it makes a difference. There's no doubt, and also affects them mentally as well. You hear some of these guys go up and they're hearing, oh, we're going up against a right-handed pitcher today. It's a totally different mindset than the lefty. 1-1 pitch, fouled back, count 1-2. I was speaking to Braxton Lee earlier this year about a pitcher who would be starting for the opposing team. This was in High Point. He said, well, that's all well and good, but is he a righty or is he a lefty? That's all I really want to know. And so clearly the players are very interested as to what hand the pitcher throws with and the difference that makes. This one, line drive toward left field, well hit, but it's the left fielder, Jeffrey Perez, who tracks it down and reaches out with the left arm to make the catch for the final out. We're done with 8 innings of play. The Blue Crabs have a 3-1 lead over the Revs. It's Endres Briseño who enters in the top of the 9th inning looking to shut the door. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
For your Blue Crabs, left-hander number 37, Briseño.
Top of the 9th inning, the Blue Crabs and the Revs. It's Jeffrey Perez at the top of the order for the Revs, who will come to the plate. The Blue Crabs scored 1 run in the first inning, 2 runs in the 6th. Meanwhile, York with 1 run in the 4th inning. And it's Endres Briseño who enters in the 9th inning. First pitch, high heat, 97 straight gas. It's strike 1. Count no balls in 1 strike on the lefty Perez. The 0-1 from Briseño up and away in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. This could be a marked change for the Blue Crabs if they go with Briseño from here on out as the closer as opposed to Matt Latos and put Matt Latos in that setup role. 1-1 delivery. Another fastball, high heat. Past the bat of Jeffrey Perez, who swings and misses. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That last one, 95 upstairs. 1-2 pitch. Line drive foul. Third base side. The second pitch that Briseño threw, the only one that missed was a slider Must have slipped out of his hands because it never broke. It stayed upstairs. Count remains 1-2. Briseño, pitch. A little bit low in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out in the top of the 9th inning. Perez steps back in, 2-2, low and in. It chases him off the plate once more. Couple of fastballs toward the knees. You're going to have to get out of the way of that pitch as it comes screaming 95 miles an hour. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Briseño hasn't had a lot of issues with control this year, although he has walked a few batters. We'll give you the official numbers in just one moment. 3-2, swing and a miss. Perez chases a fastball out of the zone. It's strike 3. It was 96.7 and 96.9 at the ankles that chased Perez off the plate. And he fires a fastball by him at 97 on the outside, off the outside corner for strike 3. Perez goes down on strikes. There's 1 away in the top of the 9th inning. Briseño. First pitch to the 2-hitter. Elmer Reyes is fouled off first base side, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. Andres Briseño's ERA has dropped to 0.90. His whip at 0.83. Briseño, the 0-1. Ground ball towards second base. Easily playable for Wolanski. The flip to first. 2 up, 2 down. 2 away in the top of the 9th inning as Briseño will face off against Melky Mesa. On the evening, Melky Mesa is 0 for 3. He has walked once. Tying run for the Revs on deck. For now, it's 3-1 Blue Crabs. The first pitch, fastball, past the swinging bat of Melky Mesa. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Andres Briseño gets the sign from his catcher, Ryan Haug. 96.5 on that last fastball. The 0-1 just off the outer edge. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, top 9. Briseño looking to close the door. Here's the pitch. Foul back to the netting behind home plate. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. I apologize, fans, for some of the issues with the camera view. Been working through some technical difficulties tonight. One-two pitch, a little bit away in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Briseño looking for his second strikeout. Looking to pick up the save tonight as well. Two balls, 2 strikes. Briseño, the pitch. Line drive right to the third baseman, Crosby, who snags it for the final out. A hard hit ball off the bat of Melky Mesa, but it's 1-2-3 either way for Andres Briseño. As the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs are winners yet again tonight, they move to 51-19, which is the best ever 70-game stretch in Atlantic League history. The prior best was 50-20, set by the Somerset Patriots back in 2015. But the Blue Crabs have moved to 51-19. Another win for Southern Maryland as the Blue Crabs pick up the W 3-1 over the York Revolution. 1-2 pitch. Well, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs pick up 3 hits from David Harris. He had a terrific evening. He also walked once. Mackenzie Mills, 6 innings. He allows 1 run. He struck out 7. He allowed just 3 hits in tonight's ball game. Well, that'll do it from us here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We'll be right back with you tomorrow evening as the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs take on the York Revolution in Game 2 of this 3-game set. The Blue Crabs 3-1 to start the second half. That's after a 48-18 record-setting first half. Have a terrific evening, everybody. Austin Rooney saying so long from Regency Furniture Stadium. Have a great night. And as always, we finish with Let's Go Blue Crabs.